Guys, welcome back to our 7-day Etsy shop review mini-series where for 7 days in a row, we take a look at $7 million plus Etsy shops to see what they do so well that I'd say 99% of the competition out there just don't do, and see the reasons why these shops are so successful on Etsy. And guys, the shop we're reviewing today is a very classic Etsy business model, but the way that they do it is honestly incredible, and they've got the stats and the revenue to completely back it up. So I guarantee you guys, there's a lot of things that you're going to be able to take away from today's shop review that are definitely going to help to improve your sales. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name's Alfie. I'm a multi-six-figure Etsy seller. I've been selling on Etsy for a few years now, and I don't want to waste any time. So let's just get straight into this shop review. The shop we're going to review today is called Spiffy Touches. And as you can see here, they have made 33,000 sales plus on Etsy. And of course, let's just take a look at how long they've been selling on Etsy for. And guys, you can see super impressive. They started in 2022. And as you can see here, of course, they're in a print on demand business model and they specialize in selling clothing. But now, just before we dive too deep into the store, I want to quickly head over to Everbee and just show you here. Total estimated revenue for this store in 3 years, $1 million plus selling print on demand clothing. Average listing price, $35. Monthly revenue, guys, it gets wilder. $77,000 monthly revenue. Imagine what we would do with those sort of revenue figures. We'd be spending it very well. So with that, let's conduct a full review of the store, see what they do so well, and see what lessons we can take away and apply to our own businesses. Straight away, guys, first thing, I always love to look at the shop banner, the logo, and just the general aesthetic of the store. I can tell you straight away, this is very nice. It's beautiful. Very aesthetically pleasing. The banner, it's got that very boho sort of vibe. Again, matches up very nicely to the logo. And just like yesterday's store that we reviewed, if any of you caught that video, they've actually put the logo in the front and center of the banner. It's just very clean. It flows very nicely. And one thing I want to point out to you guys here straight away, this is a very feminine sort of theme. And now, is that good? Of course it's good, because when you scroll down and look at the products they sell on the store, all very feminine. So products for nurses. Okay, you got a lot of nurses there. You're seeing a lot of female models, midwives. And again, you can just tell looking at this store, this really doesn't appeal to me anywhere near as much as it probably does to some of my female viewers out there. And now, if we scroll up, again, the appearance looks beautiful. But the first thing I want to really grab your attention on, guys, if any of you are doing print on demand, I'll say this so much. Check out the listings. 1,236 listings. I have people come to me, right, asking me questions like, Alfie, why am I not making sales? You know, I've put so much time in. I've watched loads of YouTube videos. I'm doing everything right. I've got some really cool designs. And then I look at their Etsy store and they've got like 30 listings. You know, 30 print on demand t-shirt listings. Even if you've got some incredible designs, it's going to be so hard to rank and so hard to make sales with such a small amount of listings, especially in such a saturated business model. But on the other hand, it's also a very promising thing, right? Because if you don't have a lot of listings at all on Etsy and you are making a certain level of sales, then that means that there's so much room for you to grow and there's still so much potential there if you just keep doing what you're doing in the right direction and keep expanding your product catalog. So yeah, guys, if you're one of my viewers out there and you've got, say, under 200, under 300 listings in the print on demand business model, don't beat yourself up if you're not making loads of sales. There's plenty of potential there. Keep doing the right things. But of course, the big kicker with this is you'll say, but Alfie, to make 1,236 listings, that's going to probably take me years. Well, that's what this store does so incredibly well. You're going to notice, especially on these designs here, you can see it straight away. These designs here as well, home health, mother baby. This is pretty much the same design, guys. All they're doing is just changing one small element of it, and then it's hitting a completely different customer, a completely different audience. And you see they do it. It's, to be fair, this is why I really want to show this store to you guys, because they do it so well. See here on these 3 jumpers here, these 3 white ones. It's just the same design, hitting different audiences. And of course, they've obviously done this enough over the years that once one design starts taking off, they then take that, say, you know, they've got a really cool design and it's for a midwife and it does really well. They just then turn that design into hitting different audiences. So say suddenly then you can hit doctors, nurses, teachers, even like soccer players, maybe hockey players, you suddenly then take that one design that you know has worked well and expand it to hitting loads of different audiences for suddenly not a lot of extra design work that you're going to have to put in. So yeah, this is such a good way to scale. And this store is a perfect example of it. And now, guys, before we look into the listings in too much detail, I just want to quickly head back to Everbee here. And I just want to see what listings is actually making the most sales. Okay. And you can see here straight away, this custom sweatshirt. You can see here on Everbee, monthly sales, 352. Monthly revenue, $24,000 a month. Wow. Okay. And to be honest, guys, this is the first time I've seen this as well. Look at what it says on the top right. Listing age 5 months. So now, whatever this listing is, for me, for example, as a seller running a print-on-demand store, if I see us making this revenue and it's only been on Etsy for 5 months, I'm 100% trying my best to replicate this listing and the things that it does well. Obviously, not copying, but in my own aesthetic. And now, guys, I just want to say quickly, because I love them so much. If you're in the market for a research app on Etsy, in my opinion, they make the world of difference. I can't recommend Everbee enough. I've shown them in my previous videos. They got keyword research, shop analyzers, product analytics. I use them every day. 100%. If you want to get serious on Etsy, I would consider investing in one of them. My recommendation would be Everbee. Of course, there is a link in the video description if you want to check them out. Totally up to you, but that would be my recommendation. And yeah, it's great. So you can see like even the tags the listings using, volume to competition, But yeah, anyway, let's move on. So click through and I want to actually view this listing on Etsy. And now we can actually talk about what they do so well in their listings that leads them to having, no doubt, such a good conversion rate. So straight away, guys, the first thing I'm noticing here is they've got some really good selling tags and infographic aspects here that really help to sell the products. So super soft straight away, top left-hand corner. No doubt, if somebody's buying a sweatshirt, they want it to be super soft. So that's a big tick in the box straight away for a lot of customers. And the way that they present their listings here, just as I go through them all, it's very clean, very, very clean. A lot of white space around the products. I've talked about this in previous videos. It makes the product look more expensive if you've got white space around it. And guys, I want to just quickly go back to the top here and I want to show you a few things. This is extremely important. If you sell any sort of variations, say colors, sizes, etc., the customer has to be able to see this. You would not believe how many sellers I see on Etsy, especially selling clothing, or say even like mug colors, for example, anything with colors. They'll list, say, 8 different variations of colors for sale for the customer to choose from, and they'll only show, say, 2 or 3 of them in the listing pictures. We know ourselves, right? We're great examples of this. I know myself anyway. If I'm buying something in, say, a blue color, I want to see what it looks like in a blue color. I don't just want to see what it looks like in white. I actually want to see what the product looks like that I'm going to be buying. Anything with variations or colors or whatever, make sure you got infographic in to show the customer what they're getting. Next up, size chart. Extremely important. If you're selling clothing or anything that has variations in size, the customer has to know this. They have to see and they have to be able to tell from an online business that what they're going to get is going to fit their body and it's the actual product that they want. And again, guys, as we continue to scroll through these images here, this is another thing that I've seen a few really big stores doing this actually. And I won't lie, I've never done it personally on my stores, but sharing some good reviews, it does, I can see it does work. And it does help to build up that level of customer trust. That's a really big reason, by the way, guys, why somebody wouldn't buy from you, because they either don't trust your product or they don't trust you as a brand and a business. So little things like this just help to nudge the customer all along their buying journey, every step of the way, building confidence in your product, building confidence in your shop, building trust until eventually they're at a position where they feel comfortable enough to actually buy from you. And again, guys, a final little infographic here, just mention the delivery times and processing times. Like I said, everything is just put in place here perfectly to help customer confidence. And now, guys, another thing I had written down, which I wanted to point out to you about this shop, and I think it's a big reason this shop has done so well, personalization aspects. And not just on this listing, by the way. If we go back to the actual shop, you can see here the main listings that are featured, lots of personalization. But I know you go to, say, any random listing, and I've looked at a lot of listings on this shop. They've all got a personalization option. So, again, go back to the shop. Let's look at a different random listing. Again, add your personalization. It's optional on this one, but they do have the option to do it. Personalization, I say this so many times, especially if you're a new seller and you want to try and break ahead of all of the competition, offer something that's personalized or has a personalized aspect to it. You'll find this so much easier to compete in rather than just doing generic standard designs. And remember, I keep saying it, a hell of a lot of people on Etsy are shopping for gifts. And if you can sell a product that's personalized, that someone can give as a personalized gift, that's going to make your journey on Etsy a lot easier. And now again, another good sales tactic here, guys. I've shown this in a previous video as well. Sell ends in 22 hours. And you know why that's really weird? Because I went on this shop about 6 hours ago and there was a sale ending in 4 hours. So you know what that means? Every 24 hours, there's a magic 60% off sale. That is obviously just a huge sale and they've got it running every 24 hours. But of course, if I'm a first-time customer going on here, just the way that you're seeing it now, you don't know that, right? You don't know that. You just think, oh, 60%, that's a mega sale. Oh, no way, but it ends in 22 hours? It must be a great time to buy now. Let's just get it now so that we make sure we get the product we want with the sale that we want. And again, look at this. £13 for the product. I haven't even clicked on t-shirt type yet. I haven't looked at this specific listing, but I can guarantee you that the majority of the products in this listing do not cost £13. That £13 is just for one very cheap variation in this product listing. Yeah, there you go. Boom. Comfort Colors tee in size small, £13 to 20. You see all the rest of them, minimum of give or take, say 20 quid, £20 minimum. And again, the colors. So a white small is £13. Everything else is a minimum of pretty much £20. So yeah, another good sales tactic you can do, guys. If you're selling anything to variations, just add a really underpriced cheap variation. Even if you just break even on one variation, this is something in e-commerce or business, I guess, called a loss leader. And it's basically just a little bit of bait that you just fish out there and it just gets a lot more clicks and a lot more attraction to your product. Customers click on it because of the lower price, think they're getting a better quality listing at a cheaper rate. Then of course they see the listing they want. It's a bit higher. By this time they're on the listing already. It's just a great way to get much more traffic in. And guys, I must apologize. I would have reviewed this store for a bit longer, but it is flu season. I know it is, and my throat is absolutely killing me. So executive decision, I'm going to call it there. If you guys like the shop reviews and you want to see one I've done yesterday of a very, very unique shop that sells very unique products you don't see a lot of on Etsy, that has made over $5 million in revenue in just a few years, then I'm going to leave a link to that video just over here. Feel free to check it out. Love all of you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.